Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today I'm going to do our daily technical analysis update of uranium. Looking at some of these, doesn't look too bad, but I didn't really look at the charts. I just kind of looking at the sidebar there, seeing what's up and what's down. But we'll take a look at the charts together. This will be my first time looking at it today, and we'll take a look. Again, this is just my financial opinion. Please don't use it as advice. And we'll start with the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. We are bouncing sideways. I don't see this as a negative. I see it as a positive. We've broken the downtrend line. Check. We've made a higher high. Check. Now we got to break this $12.20 or so, $12.15, close above that for a new uptrend because we were in a downtrend here. So we broke it. Higher high, barely, and we need to make a higher low, and we need to make a higher high. So usually what I see when these patterns is they could trade sideways. They can even come back down a little bit more as long as it stays above 1025, and eventually we break higher. So I think it looks good. URNM, we've got steady buying pressure. We need that pressure to continue. We still have these two nasty down days here that I do not like. So we've got a bearish engulfing of the day before it. So this is a downward movement. We've got 3 up days, and sometimes, and I'm just going to prepare yourself that we could head a little bit lower and do a little bit of bouncing here because of these 2 days and the 3 up days that came in. So we went down in 2 days quite dramatically. Reversal day and this down day, and we're kind of coming up, and we're not going up as easy as we came down. So we could see this thing kind of bounce up and down a little bit here. We'll call it to a little bit of working off this downward momentum, and then we'll head higher. That's kind of what I'm guessing. But keep in mind, guys, this is only probabilities. It does not mean, because I said that, it doesn't mean that it can't just rocket higher. It very well could rocket higher. It's just when I see this type of pattern coming down, sometimes they consolidate a little bit longer. We've got 2 large down days and 3 up days within the 2 down days here. And usually that's favoring that there's some sellers still in this. The buyers just aren't coming in here and whopping the sellers. That's why it took 3 days to move up. In the 2 days it came down. So I'm still favoring the sellers slightly. Bannerman, it's what's good is it's kind of consolidating here. It's finding a balance between the buyers and sellers. Goviax, we got a 2.88% up day today, GVXXF. Goviax, little Govi, it's a solid company, guys. They're a developer company. But I think we're probably going to do a little bit of a bounce here. And the reason I say that, we've got this reversal day, this down day, and it took 3 days to kind of work its way inside of these 2 down days. So whenever you see these kind of engulfing or shadowing these, sometimes it'll bounce down like I've got and then work its way higher. That's kind of what my guess is. Global Atomics got a nice little pop here. We were coming in the downtrend. It popped higher today, 9.45%. It's looking good. It's looking good. And again, we could have a retest here where this pulls back a little bit, a return move before moving on up. Forces Metals, the Forces is getting slammed up against some resistance. And there's the resistance line that I drew through here. We got to get back through it. Hopefully this isn't a little breakout back test and it falls back down. We'll have to see if we can get back in the pattern. May the Forces be with you. There we go. Purepoint Uranium. Looking at PTUUF. Purepoint's an exploration company up in Canada. It is right at this long-term support resistance line. And it's playing the hokey pokey around it because we got massive up day yesterday, good size down day today. It's going all over the place. We do have this kind of downtrend line broken. We're still above it, so maybe this is the return move. Hopefully we can get some some stabilization here. Maybe we need a stabilization package from the government to stabilize Purepoint. Who knows? Deep yellow. Yeah, this doesn't look too bad. It looks like we're trying to work off the downward momentum. Like to see a close above, 56, 58 cents. Get us back up here. Get this momentum coming back higher. Looking at the PALAF, Paladin Energy. Nice, good, solid update today. Finished quite strong. I always like seeing a strong finish, guys. It's not about how you open, it's about how you close. And you want to close strong towards the end of day. We don't like these big wicks. It means that it traded up and then sellers sold it back off quite hard. I like when it finishes strong like this, and it's right at support. I like buying at support. Sky Harbor. Sky Harbor looks good, guys. We're right at this resistance line. We've bounced off it a whole bunch. It's very strong. Strong like Bull, strong like Sky Harbor Resources. And I think we're going to see an eventual break to the upside here, and it could be a big move. We've got a massive pattern here that it's trying to break. And you almost always hit your head on it, sell off. Hit your head on it, sell off. But notice how the sell-offs are getting less and less as we come up. Eventually, when the sellers break here, you're going to see a big move to the upside. That's SYHBF. It's a Canadian exploration company. Next Gen Energy, a little bit of an update today, 4.15%. I'm going to the daily candlesticks, and we're coming back up. We got that nice bullish engulfing pattern and the hammer pattern before. So the hammer pattern, we came back to do a double bottom. We're moving on up. Let's hope the momentum can continue. We got a little wick at the top, and it's not horrible. I'd like to see it, finish a little bit stronger. Nobody likes a weak finisher, but that's where we're at. Canalaska CVVUF. We're just straight going sideways. We're right at the support line, and we're doing almost like a double bottom. Hopefully we can keep that support and hold it. BSENF, this is Baseload Energy. I've got, my pattern is we could potentially head a little bit lower before heading higher. We got basically a flat day today. I'm going to stick to this pattern roughly. We could come down. It may take a little bit longer than what I've drawn, but I think we're going to go a little bit more sideways before hitting the gas. Same with Fission. Looks like we're just chopping sideways. We're starting to find some support here. We've got support right underneath it. So hopefully we can kind of dip down a little bit, do a reversal candlestick, and then pop higher. Fission doing the 6.66%. Jeez. But we got three good size up days. Good buying pressure. Let's just hope it can continue. We broke the little downtrend here. It's looking okay. I wouldn't say it's looking great, but it's looking okay. Camco, we're right at this resistance line of the big dog coming through here. Started it there, hit that one, and then hit this one. Hopefully we can break back up above it. We do have a high, a lower high, and I'd like to get back up above this support line. Kazatomprom KAP. We've got a nice good update today, right at the resistance support line. There's this line going across here. And we'll see where this thing goes. I don't like seeing this large down day here. It is a reversal candlestick. Kind of went sideways, and hopefully we can get some momentum to the upside. Reverse all this garbage. PENMF, PENMF, Peninsula Energy. Good, strong update today. Again, we went kind of broken out of this little pattern here. You could almost redraw this. What you could do is draw it like this and say it's more of like a channel coming down. And we're right, we broke this big long-term downtrend. And then we're trying to find some support to move on up. Boss Energy getting a little bit of support. It's up 5.93%. I think it was at support last time I looked yesterday. There it is. It's finding that support. It's bouncing off that support. So that looks good. There's a lot of support down here, guys. This is where I would be a buyer, would be, down here. Lotus Resources looks like it's trying to find some support. It's chopping sideways. Doesn't look too bad. We've got some support from back here. kind of at this buying, selling pressures back here. So we'll see if it holds. UROY, moving on up a little bit. Bullish engulfing hammer pattern came up, pulled back a little bit, and hopefully we can get a little dig of momentum out of here to move on to the upside. We do have resistance right above it, though. So this, hopefully we don't hit this resistance and then cave back down. Encore Energy getting a little bit of a sell-off today, 5.22%. Doesn't look bad. We've got good, strong support down here in the 90-something cent range. Bounce, bounce, and we're just chopping sideways at the moment. UU, looking quite good, 7.29%. Well, I don't like these two, stronger down days here, and then we're fighting our way up. We've taken 3 up days in the time it took 2 down days for the reversal day and the down day. Some trading sessions ago, we're trying to work our way higher, but we do have support underneath it of this big old line through here. So we're channel trading at this point, but it looks good. It looks good. Same with UR Energy. I like it down here. It's right at the support line. You might see this bounce around a little bit. It's a lot of momentum coming down. So you might see a little bouncing before I head up. Something like this. So a move, a kind of a bouncing around like that for a little bit. UEC, similar thing. Ooh, I even put the bounce in there. I like it. Coming down, bouncing, and then potentially heading higher. Yeah, basically what I wrote in yesterday is what I think something like that will happen. Something similar. LEU, this is Centrus Energy. Just moving sideways. This is a little bloody nose. Nothing really to worry about. Small down days are good for moves going up. I don't like seeing the big, large selling pressure. Do not like it. So everything's intact to move higher. Light bridge looks okay. I think that looks good to continue higher. ISO Energy. I don't like these too large. So we still have a lot of large selling pressure days here. 2 large ones. Smaller buying pressure coming up. It's contracting. I think we might head lower in ISO Energy in the short term. Appy Energy just moving sideways. We did enter this little pattern from the top side down. We've got a high, a lower high, a lower high, a lower high. So we are coming downward, unfortunately. Oops. Going to DNN. Here's our channel. We broke that to the downside. Kind of a little double bottom here. Man, we still have these 2 large down days here and then the 3 days coming up. We have not blown through this where I'd say, yeah, it's a definite bottom. We could roll over here and maybe we do a little bit of a sideways action. Something like that. Blue Sky Uranium. This guy's in a sideways land. I think there's a lot of support through here. Oh yeah, there's a lot through here. You can just kind of draw this sideways here, and that's kind of where all this support resistance is all through here. So it's probably going to sit there for a little while. Eventually, it's going to break one way or the other. It's going to break down or up. But there is a lot of support underneath it right where it's at. Forum Energy Metals, bopping sideways. Yeah, it was up 3%, but that's a small up day in uranium in the uranium world of volatility. But we're above a bunch of support, so hopefully that holds there. Hopefully it holds. AEC is just chopping sideways. This is kind of like a dead period. Sometimes I buy these. It does have a little bit higher highs, and hopefully we can get the momentum to move upward. Laramide up about 5%. It's got this good buying pressure. It finished quite strong. I like seeing that. We'll see if it can continue. Western Uranium up 2.94%. Yeah. I don't like it when you get these, they go up. Usually this means they're going to probably head lower. They kind of go up in this ascending wedge pattern, and then they sometimes fall out to the downside. So whenever you have a pattern that's facing upward like this, they fall to the downside. Whenever you have a pattern that's going downward like this, they go upward. So if they come up and they squeeze up, they want to break downward. If they squeeze going down, they break to the upside. So this one's kind of squeezing upward, and they usually break to the downside. So this one squeezed up. It had one last little thrust in it, and then it came down. Squeezing up, it's going to come back down. And then on the big picture view, we've broken the support line. We did a back test, and now we could see further downside, unfortunately, in Western uranium. UEXCF, man, oh man. So I like it when you see higher highs. Whoa, jeez. Jeepers. I like it when you see higher highs like this, and then you see lower highs. That's no bueno. It's no bueno. So that's a kind of a rounding top. And we, again, guys, we could see this go lower, but it's hanging in there. This is a bullish piercing. Short term, it popped a little bit higher. We broke this little downtrend line. We'll see where it goes from there. Mega is mega strong, 6.2%. Looking at the pattern, if we zoom out, this thing looks like it could potentially break to the upside. It looks quite strong. What I say, it's mega strong. Well, yeah, it's mega uranium, so it's got to be mega strong. But it looks good. Good buying pressure, bullish engulfing, bullish piercing. We could see it going up. So that one looks strong. So that's what I see in the uranium sector right now. You know, some bullish, some bearish. It's a mix. It's a really, really mixed bag. And, you know, I bought URNM. I'm hoping that we can pull out of this. But I would continue to cost average in even if it goes lower. That's me. I think the market conditions are really ripe for a uranium boom that's coming up. I think higher interest rates will support money to rotate over into these and the commodity boom. So I'm quite bullish on energy in general. I think electricity that is generated from high energy return sources, that is baseload, steady, robust, safe, emissionless, etc., 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 etc. Well, you just described uranium. No other thing in this world at the moment can do what uranium can do. So I think those countries, and think about GDP and making things. If your input costs are the cheapest, where you can generate stable, reliable power at a very good price, which uranium can do, it's going to be cheaper to put in uranium than it is to put in renewables, because renewables, you're still going to have to put in all the natural gas power plants as buffer plants when renewables aren't working. Nuclear, you can put it in, plop it in. It has very good uptime. Uptime is how much it runs, very little downtime. And the fuel is quite cheap, and it's pretty, the output, which would be the input for other companies, is very cheap to produce electricity. So I think, I mean, if it were my country, I would want to put in nuclear because it is stable, it's cheap, it's not very mineral intensive. And I think people will they'll come around to nuclear and uranium eventually. It may take them some time as they implement renewables and then figure out like, hey, this is kind of a big mistake. Or if the shortages in the minerals occur and they can't put in as much renewables as they think they can. So I'm playing the uranium nuclear train. That's definitely. If you guys like the analysis, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.